Welcome back to my channel. I'm the Novice Railway Modeller. Now you join me for episode 12 where we're going to start and rewire this end of the fiddle yard, which I did originally, and I'm going to rewire some of that as a result of completing this end of the fiddle yard where all my learnings and my experiences started to build with regard to how to wire point motors using switching wires and solving frog polarity issues, which is what was on episode 11. Thanks to all of you that continue to watch my videos and comment, and all those that have subscribed and continue to subscribe. You don't know how much I appreciate it. It's absolutely fantastic that the amount of interaction that I get, and particularly with you guys really giving me good direction, lots of tips, lots of advice of how to overcome the issues that you've seen me deal with over the last few episodes. So my learning curve is very steep as a novice railway modeller, and it will continue to do so. I'm just so excited about coming to the end of this fiddle yard build, because then I can finally put it in place. It does mean that I'm going to start another fiddle yard on the north side of the layout, which is behind the camera as you're looking at here, but this south side hopefully will be complete. I'll do a video of me installing that and show you all how it's going to put together, because I've had lots of comments of wondering how this is going to work and whether this is the fiddle yard in its permanent place. No, it's not. It's going to move on beyond these cross beams that you can see here. So I'm going to move on now to the next stage of rewiring this end of the fiddle yard, and then once that's complete I'm going to screw it all back together, as you can see here behind me, and then we're going to test the trains that are on the tracks and some of the trains that are on the tracks behind me. So fingers crossed we get all that completed today, and we have a successful running session. Fingers crossed. Come back now to baseboard 1 on the south side, and I'm going to rewire these points using the switching system that I employed on the other side of the fiddle yard. And so whilst I'm here, I've got some tidying up to do, some skills that I've learned on that side that I'm going to do here as well. So I've just taken the power cables out that are coming from the accessory bus, and I'm going to tidy all this up now and get it wired in exactly the same way as I've wired the other side. So I've now made the wiring adjustments to baseboard 1. I'll just show you what I've done. So we've got the accessory bus here, and this terminal block was already here, but I completely took the wires out and I've changed things around, because I've now gone for blue and yellow wires, as I've done with the other point motors, going into the DCC in terminals on the point motor, and I've tried to neatly wire those, which you can see. And then the addition to all these point motors on this board now is the switching wires, which are the red and blacks that you can see on the point motors, and they're going into this new terminal block that I put in, which is the track power, so that will allow the switching to the frogs. So we've got the bus wire for the track, and we've got the bus wire for the accessories coming through. The only thing I'm not happy with is these frog wires reaching across from the frogs over here, because they have to go over a batten here. Now it's a lot neater than it was before, because the power to these frogs was also coming from across there. So yeah, so I've made those changes. And then if I just show you this side of the board, here we go. So we have a new terminal block here, which is for the accessories, sorry, I was wrong actually. The power for these two was coming across onto this batten here, and they were reaching across. So we've now got a separate terminal block here, this side of the batten, so it saves wires coming across. And again, I've wired them the same way, with the yellows and blues coming to the accessory bus, and the switching red and black wires going to the track power, and the green frog wires are okay on this one. So I am going to make some adjustments to these two, and I'm going to take these frog wires off, extend them, and then put the heat shrink, it's only loosely on there at the moment, and then heat shrink in. So yeah, so that's where we are. I think the wiring could be neater, and that's something that I'll continue to practice to help improve things. But I'm just going to make the changes to these frog wires, and then I'll heat shrink these four into place so their joints are covered and neat. And then once that's done, I'll flip the board over, and then we'll test the track and see if it all works. I might need to flip it backwards and forwards as I've done with other boards, to make sure that I've got the red and black wires feeding the switching in the right way for the way the points are changing. But we'll give that a go once I've got these frog wires done. Okay, so I've resoldered frog wires, longer ones, so as you can see now these clear this batten nice and easy, which is great. So I've just plugged in the accessory controller into the accessory bus wire, because I want to test that all these 5-point motors are actually working. Remember, on the last left hand point on the other side of the fiddle yard, I can't seem to get that going through the accessory controller. So let's try this one. So I've plugged it in, let's switch it on. So there we go. I'll show you in two stages. So there's point 60, 61 and 62. So let's try that. Point 60, select, and let's throw this way. You can just see that moving. Perfect. Great. 61. Select. Great. 62. And the other way. Excellent. That's working. That's a good sign. So point 63, this one, point 64. So let's go for 63. 63, select, and throw. It's brilliant. And then 64. Perfect. So great. So we now know that all 5-point motors on this baseboard 1 of the south side are working through the accessory decoder. So the next job then is now to turn that over, and let's have a look to see if we've got the frog switching in the right way. So we'll just move to that now. So the board's now over, and I've now brought my track controller for the track power into position. The accessory controller is there too, so I'm just going to switch them both on now. And I've also got my little track tester that lights up orange when track power is good. So both of those are now switched on. So I don't know if you can see that. Let's just have a quick check. You can just about see that, can't you, there? Hopefully you can see that lighting up, which you can. So that's, we've got track power here. We come over the point, and let's just check we have track power here. We have track power there, because the point is running straight, so it's running straight that way. It shouldn't have track power here, and we don't. So if we throw 60, let's see if that light comes back on. 60, select. Eureka! So not only are the point motors working, but I've also got the switching wires the right way around. So now if I put the track tester onto this side, it's dead. So that's good, I think. So let's just follow the far point, so we'll throw the point again. Should come back on orange, and it does. So we come to here, and we've got track power here, because the track power has been fed from this point here, so that's good. That's good. The point is straight, so we'll follow that through. So the train would come this way around, and we should have track power here, which we do. Now we're on point 61, so let's see. This one here should be dead, and it is. So let's test it. So it's now changed and the lights come on, so this track should be dead. This one's alive. Again, so we've wired that the correct way around, so let's change it back. Should go off. It does. Test it here, and that one's live, which is great. The next piece of track, which has got an isolator on, let's see if it's live, and it is, because it's been fed power from this point here, so that's good. So we're live there, we're live there, and this point again is thrown into a straight position. So we've thrown point 61, and we know that that's live there. Let me change the point to the other way. Right, 61, let's go. So we're throwing that, and it's gone off, and that's live, which is great. So let's throw it back. The power's gone there, the frog switched it, and it's onto there, which is great. We've now got track power there, which is good because it's been powered from this point here. So we'll follow that as if the train was going straight, as it is, and we'll select there, and we do have track power. So we shouldn't have track power here, and we don't. So let's throw this point 64. Select. Brilliant. So we've got all those 3 points, 60, 61, 64 correctly wired the frogs are correctly wired the right way around. So now let's come back to this track here. So we're just going to test that. We'll bring 61 back on, throw it the correct way. This should light up. It does. That's live there, which is great. So, and it's going straight, so test that there, which is great. This piece here is live, which is great. Fantastic. So that all works. So let's change, throw the point 63, select. The light goes off, and it should be on this track here. It is. Brilliant. Check this piece here. Brilliant. Okay, so we know 63 is correct. Excellent. So we're going to come back to here, right on the edge of your screen. Just turn the. So we know that the track is live to this point in time, and 62 we've already tried. Well, 62 is live because it's going straight, so that's great. So this one should be dead. It is. Let's throw 62. Should come live. Ah, there we go. So that's okay. I just hadn't put that in the correct position. Just this one. That's fine. So that's great. This track's live. No more points. Excellent. So that's a first for me. Not only are all the point motors responding to the accessory decoder, but also the points frogs are wired in the right way, so wherever I throw the point, it's actually changing the frog switching in the right way for the first time. So I got that right first time. Let's just try a locomotive over them. Okay, let's quickly run the locomotive down these 6 tracks. Track 1, track 2, track 3, track 4, track 5, track 6. Okay, so let's come down to track 1 first of all. Let's make sure the points are in our favour. So 60, select, let's throw that. And let's run the loco through. Perfect, down to track 1. Right, now let's run that through to track 2. So we're going to change point 62, change 62, select, and let's run that through. Running through to track 2. Perfect. Let's change. Let's now go to track 3. So I need to change point 60. Throw that. And all the other points are currently in our favour. So let's give that a run. Excellent, all the way through to that. So let's now do that on track 4. So we need to change point 63. Wrong one again. 63, select, let's throw. Okay, the locomotive is on its way. Perfect, so that's track 4. Now let's do track 5, so we need to change point 61 in our favour. And 64 is already in the right favour, so let's send our locomotive on the way. Oops, derailed. There it goes. Through and onto track 5, sorry, and then let's change point 64 into our favour. Perfect. Send our locomotive on its way. Here she goes. D4093, Class 08 Shunter, BR green. Perfect. Great. Oh, there you go. So that's both ends of the fiddle yard done. I still have an issue with one of the points on track 6, which feeds into track 5. So if any of you know what that problem could be, then please do drop me a comment below. I've just connected, I'm going to extend this accessory bus. It's due to end here on this board. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to connect it all the way down to the other end of the fiddle yard and just see if I can control it so far. So it fits to the accessory bus at the other end. So the red and black wires, I've not twisted them round each other, but you can, sorry, excuse for the jump, but they go all the way down to the other end of the fiddle yard. I just wanted to thank someone who helped my OCD, because I was saying wish you could get black connecting clips instead of just only red and blue, and someone said, well, just paint them black or mark them black with a black marker, and that's what I've done. So it really helps. Thank you, such a lovely little tip. I've left the blue ones on here because they're blue to the so it tells me that they're blue going into the terminal motors, the interpoint motors, sorry. So yeah, that's where we are. And so now I'm going to try and put the baseboards in position. To do that, I just need to disconnect these 2 frog wires and also these 2 here, so I can do that now. And I'll come around the other side and just take those 2 frog wires out, put the board down, and then connect them both underneath the batten here. So they'll go underneath this batten. As this board drops down to here, those wires will go underneath. So I've now put all the baseboards together. They're cramped or clamped, whichever way you want to describe it, on each side of the batten. So they're not screwed into place, they're just held down into position. And you can see all the way down to the far end of the fiddle yard, which is one that's caused me the most problem. This is the point network, which I've just finished. So everything's now joined together, and what I'm going to do, I've just track tested, having switched all the electricity on, and track tested with the light, and it's luminous all the way down. The only problem that I've got, which is the one that you know about already, is the left hand point on the track 5 and 6, which is just not responding. Yeah, what I'm going to do now is run a locomotive down and let's see how they go. So the class 37 is now going to come down through the point network at the far end. I've just set up a iPhone camera at the other end just to see that in a bit more detail. So here the locomotive comes down track number 1. We're on about 4 speed steps. Let's come to a halt, that's great. Let's send it back the other way around. So we'll bring that through now track number 2. So I'm just going to change the point. There we go. And let's bring the locomotive back. when I've derailed. So I've got a problem there. So you can clearly see that this is derailing here on this Model Tech rail aligner. And I'll do a close-up of this for you so you can see. I had no problem with the shunter going across there in the test, but the Class 37 doesn't like it, so let's see how it works the other way around. Okay, let's go, see how it goes the other way. I'm going to go the reverse on that joint and see what happens. Let's give it a go now, back down the line to the far end of the fiddle yard on track 3. I think one of the wheels was still derailed on the last attempt. Let's see if it's okay this time. Applying a bit of speed just to get it down to the yard, and just slowing down now as we come to the point network. And through the point network, just jump there. It's not derailed, but it does jump. We saw that jump. And brake. Right, let's give track 4 a run and see how that performs. Nice flange squeal. A locomotive comes to a halt. Lovely. Right, let's go back down track 4. Make sure it works the other way around. The point work nice and smoothly. Across those troublesome Model Tech rail aligners. We're going to bring the locomotive up and down track 5 now. Change the point and take it down track 6 because, as I said a couple of times now, this point I'm having trouble with. It's not the point actually, the point motor. I just can't program it. I can't activate it in when it's on the track. Anyway, you'll have seen from my other videos. And just take class 37 now down, down there, take it down, track 6, there it goes. Points change for it to go down track 6. But it'll have to come to a stop towards the end of... It'll have to come to a stop towards the end of the track. So there we are. That's what, for me as a novice railway modeller, that's what relative success looks like. And I'm really pleased with the progress that I've been able to make on what has been a complicated fiddle yard for me. Obviously just those snags to sort out, couple of rail joiners, aligners, where the locomotive is jumping or derailing, and so I've got to get the solder iron out and mess around with those. Wish me luck, because they're not going to be easy. So a couple of those, and then just that point on point 65 on the 6th track that I still haven't got a resolution for. So yeah, there we go. I hope you've enjoyed the work so far. I won't do a video on me fixing the alignment of the rails. And the next update I'll give you now will be about installing this fiddle yard into its permanent location. So if you liked what I do, please do give me a thumbs up on the video, and if you haven't seen any of my other videos, then just look back at the playlist and see my journey right from the start. That would be great, and recommend my fledgling channel to all your friends and relatives, people that are interested in model railways. That would be great, because any help that we can get to grow this channel just makes a big difference to me. And if you're new to watching this, then please don't forget to subscribe. Every subscriber really means something to me. Please pass on your comments, good or bad. I appreciate all of them. If you're not sure what I'm doing, then you just say so. If you jumped in and out, then I'm happy to give you an update. So yeah, there we go. Really pleased with what I've been able to achieve. We've got the DCC on. You can see here that we've got the lights of the locos on. Now I didn't put the sound on because you probably wouldn't be able to hear me. So we're making good progress. I'm really happy with where we are, and thank you for your support. Don't forget to subscribe and to like. Everything will be really much appreciated. Take care.